Hey guys, it's Steph. I know I just popped in. I always do this to you just to see if anybody's actually paying attention. Puppy is sleeping, so I have a little time to hang out. Anyway, Biting into Comics posted a story. They're posting it like it's a scoop that Lin-Wen Brennan and ILM people went to a tech conference and they had, hey Dave, and they had diversity training. Like, and what does it prove? Nothing. Okay, it proves nothing. There's a conference, they went to it. There was a seminar, they went to that. It doesn't say, hey Jay. It doesn't mean anything. Hit the like buttons, please. It doesn't mean anything in regards to what's going on. See, there's a huge difference between going to a seminar and going to a conference and going to some stupid diversity training thing for whatever. And, you know, business, money. In fact, it's apples and oranges. Hey, Chris. It's apples and oranges. This has nothing to do with the decision making that Disney's gotta make, that Disney's doing with all of their scattered divisions. Hey, Birdie. And people freaking out about it, and it's the usual suspects. You know, I'm gonna say this. There's a cadre of people in the world that live for misery. They live for outrage. And if you make a living, a lot of people do on YouTube, by continuously being outraged, when something good happens, you don't really want it to happen because you're either consciously or subconsciously fearful that your gravy train is going to be going away. There's always going to be something to be outraged about. Always. That's like the sun rising. But if Doomcock is right, and these, rumors are true, there's I mean, I don't even get it. I mean, and some of the people that posted this stuff are smart. It's like, it doesn't mean these people are being trained to attack fans. Most companies now do diversity training. It's part of the package. It's stupid. I think it's a waste of money. I wouldn't make my employees go through that, but a lot of companies do. I also think part of it is worried about lawsuits. A lot of people who feel like they're minorities, therefore, even if you look at them funny, microaggressions and, bad gays or wrong gays or whatever the fuck they call it now, you're gonna get sued for looking at someone in a way that they interpreted it to be bad. Now, we all know that there are studies out there that people have put out there that show that people who grew up in the technology revolution can't read expressions. So micro expressions and wrong gaze is probably the afterbirth of some of the shit that we've seen just from kids spending way too much time on the computer. And it's really, it's bizarre, but it's something that goes on. I mean, there are children who were born between 1998 now who don't understand facial expression. Okay, because mommy and daddy gave them a tablet, they gave them a phone, they let them watch TV, they let them hang out on the computer. They're not outside playing. I think the best lessons in life, far beyond school, are learned playing, are learned by learning how to socialize with other kids your age, okay? And without the adult supervision. Everybody has to figure out their own way. Personalities are discovered, okay? And you're not doing that online. I mean, you see it every day on Twitter, for crying out loud. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about this diversity thing that they're all freaking out about, because it doesn't mean anything. Oh, I know, Dave, I know. So when a company does that, and, the usual suspects are freaking out, there you go. Oh, I know. Oh, hi, Maze is in the house. Yeah, I know, Maze, I agree. I really don't know what to think. I'm like, I really don't really know. And like, I think I said this yesterday in my video, and I know I said this on John's Star Wars chat that I was in and out of, because the little shit ball that we've got, we had an interesting night putting him to bed. That's not going to happen anymore. I'm not going to go into it. I mentioned this, that I can't remember who it was, but, and I believe it. Remember when I said, raise your hands, do you remember when I said $4.7 billion loss is not what Disney really lost? That's what they reported. They lost far more. Do you remember that? I was told that worldwide, get ready, Disney's losses were $18 billion. So, if you're one of the people out there with a bigger channel attacking Doomcock or crapping all over his story, or Midnight's Edge's stories, or John, or me, or anybody, if you're doing that, and I think part of it is their contacts haven't told them this stuff. Part of it is professional jealousy. And like I said, part of it is, if they come and fix this, what do we do? Because again, if it bleeds, it leads, and that happens on YouTube. And most of the bigger YouTubers have made a living off of selling outrage. So the $18 billion loss is kind of a big goddamn number. They're already, I estimate, close to $100 billion in debt. And these people don't think that they're changing things. Now, are they going to get rid of the SJWs? I'm going to tell you something that's going to shock all of you. Give a fuck if you're an SJW. Give a fuck if you're a communist. If you're a good writer, if you're a good animator, if you're a good director, and you keep that shit out of it, fine. The moment you start using a franchise like Star Wars to push your fucking message, then I get mad. Sorry for the F-bombs. Okay. That's the problem. And I think that's the problem Disney is addressing. Okay? So, do I give a shit if Lin-Wen Brennan, who's probably going to be leaving soon anyway, took ILM, why I don't know, they were at a technology thing and they all went to this. We don't even know how many people went to that conference. Maybe it was just her. I mean, we saw the schedule. We saw this. We don't know who went to it. All we know is that she went to a conference where this diversity thing was going to happen. And we were told that some people from ILM went. Who was it? Was it the whole group? Or was it her? Was it some of the group? Was it one of the other? I mean, we don't know. But let's all, collectively shit our pants. Of course it's a scam, Aaron. Of course it's a scam. And so, and it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove anything because, again, apples and oranges. All right? And I'm going to say this. If you run a big channel and you're upset, Doomcock all the way, by the way, has 200,000 channel. That's big. And you're disagreeing with this and you're throwing everything in there. It's not because it's wrong. It's not because it's right. It's basically because you're afraid, A, it's true, and B, they're not telling you. And I'm going to tell you something. These people, they're telling Doomcock, Midnight's Edge, and other people, watch you too. And they could have reached out to you, but they didn't. And there might be a reason why, okay? They're not reaching out to me, but I have my own contacts. Of course they are. I mean, and going to a technology conference is one thing. I mean, it was this last weekend. All right, the 23rd, the day we got the furry, he's laying over here, the day we got the furry bombshell, it was going on then, and I'm like, I have no fucks to give. I don't care. Why is this a story? You see, you gotta be smart with this stuff, okay? You gotta be smart with how it plays out there. And it doesn't play with me because I'm like, I'm really sure that this proves nothing, but okay. When I see people trying to rationalize, I hate that. I hate that. Okay? If you're wrong about something, you're wrong about something. But trying to rationalize an opinion that's not based on anything but what? Another problem I have is these other channels and the SJWs, I hate these rumors, they ignore the fact that COVID has changed everything. All right? I'll give you an example. The U.S. Navy is changing their hiring practices for civilians. They can now hire somebody who lives in Idaho who can telework instead of living in D.C. Think about that. You can live a hell of a lot better in Idaho on $100,000 a year, which is what you taxpayers are paying some of these salaries, than you can in D.C. by a lot. And the way they run that town, who wants to live in the area? Who wants to live? And I'll be honest, Alexandria, Virginia is beautiful. It is magnificent, okay? It is not a place I'd want to live. It's too expensive. You've got a bunch of assholes rioting and looting and, trying to burn down national monuments across the river. Wants to live there? I want to fucking live there. And I already did, by the way, when I was working on Capitol Hill. They're hiring people that don't live there, that don't have to come in except maybe once or twice a year. Think about that. Companies this stuff has changed. Everything, okay? And Disney is going to have to change too. Now, here's another rumor that came out that my stalker put out there, that Disney executives were going back to pre-COVID pay. That's the news came from a little known site that I wouldn't really put any faith in, and I haven't heard that story anywhere else. Again, what the fuck? It just, accepting reality. We have to accept this COVID shit. We have to accept that things have changed in the way people hire and the way people work. I personally wish that there was no such thing as telemarketing. And because when my husband's telemarketing right now with the dog, he is so little and he's just a furry ball of energy. Thank God he's asleep right now. He drives my husband crazy. He can't get any work done. And I'm like, he's an 8-week-old puppy. You're not going to get, this is the best we're going to do right now for about 6 months. All right? If I put him in his crate, he's going to scream his head off. Of course, yesterday when he almost pulled my computer off the island, because he got tangled up in the cord, he literally locked himself in his crate. He ran in there and the door shut and he was like this. I laughed my ass off. I never saw, he bolted, with his ears flying back. Funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. He ran so fast, but he was scared, all right? But again, he's a distraction. And oh yeah, they can. I mean, Twitter's doing it, Google's doing it. I think Microsoft is doing it. I can see Apple doing it. The U.S. government, like I said, is doing it. It's the world. It's going to change. Okay. Now, I like I said, if I was working, I'd rather be at work. It's hard for me to work in my house because I have too many other things I want to do. Wash the dishes, vacuum, dust, pick things up. If it's cluttered, mess with the dog. I could jump in the car and be 5 minutes with my horse. It's too distracting here. When I'm in an office, at a different building with colleagues, then I'm working. God, I don't even know if I really get along. I haven't worked since 2004, and I kind of like my life right now. I could go back unless I had to. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about that. It's about acceptance of and some things have to change. Again, I've said this before. I think I said this last night on John's stream. I think Maze might remember. Disney doesn't have infinite money. I think there's an imagination out there among the bigger YouTubers that, on both sides of the aisle, that the Mouse House has, trillions of dollars, that they can just go out in a valley and pull dollars off of trees. It doesn't work that way. In fact, I have a theory that the Mouse House has been barely making profits for decades, at least for the last 10 years. Okay, they should have had something set aside. They should have been healthy enough, like Universal, to go and survive this, okay? They didn't, it's obvious. Now, who to blame on this? Bob Iger, poor management, poor financial management, presidents of divisions that aren't doing their jobs. When they were called to the carpet for funny money for Captain Marvel, I pretty much believe that was true. I don't think a lot of these movies, including Avengers Endgame, made the money they say it did. And that's brutal truth. But we'll see, all right? Disney's got a lot on their plate right now. And a lot of the bigger channels are ignoring it. You can't really look at all these facts that are out there and say, none of this shit is real, when Doomcock and Midnight's Edge are saying it. Where's the money going to come from? John said last night that Project Luminous is not going to happen. Now, I don't know about that. They pushed it back. That we know that the first chapter bored the shit out of some people. I thought it was awful. Light of the Jedi. I mean, when they pushed it back to next January, there was an indication that things are being changed in it, at least. If it's actually over, you know, oh, I may have to cut this short if he's waking up because he has to go outside and go to the bathroom then. Potty training is a learning curve for the dog. Just, no number twos, but a few number ones. Hey, Kojak, Jay said you rock. He's out of it. The fuzzball, yeah. No, he's not. He's not awake. He was just stretching out. He makes these little noises. When he stretches out, he goes, "Rrr, rrr, rrr, rrr." And at night, when you're sleeping, all of a sudden you hear that. It's really kind of funny. He has his own little way of. He's cute. He's different. He's a different puppy than Buford was. Buford was a pretty straightforward guy. We also got Buford in the wintertime, and he don't like going outside. It's too hot out there for him. He'll go outside, do his business, and then charge for the door. Oh, he's talking. He was barking at me today. I was doing I was jumping back and forth like this. And he was throwing up his paws and just yelling his head off at me. But Daddy was not here, so we do a lot of things when Daddy's not here because if he's working, we just can't do it. Anyway, but Daddy takes him down the basement and they raise hell. So, but anyway, I kind of want to talk a little bit about accepting the reality that is going on with Disney. It's not fake. Disney's in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. They're not going to go away. I don't want them to go away. Too many people depend on them for a job. And they're an American brand. And there was at one time, when we were proud of that brand. When Ovitz and, what's his face? Oh God, the guy before Iger ran it and did a great job. All right. Yeah, Michael Eisner. I want it to be that company again. And it can be, but they got to, they're going to have to change. And you can't change unless you remove people that are causing problems. Now, if Doomcock is right, and I'm going to say he's half right, I do think they do have to have a personnel, address personnel problems. I would like to see Pablo Hidalgo and his wife gone. I would like to see the story group gone. There are people that work in other areas of Lucasfilm that probably need to go, like that Hal Hickel. Don't go on Twitter, all right? Keep your politics out of Star Wars, and don't go on fucking Twitter. Very simple, all right? And, there are people all across the spectrum at Disney, all right? They should go. And that's the bottom line. So I believe Doomcock's, that one is about half right. Hey, Pocket, how you doing? So I just wanted to address the Bounding into Comics thing about that seminar because it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove that it has anything to do with the decisions that Chapek is making. The fact that these people ignore the fact that Iger wasn't sitting in on the last earnings call. That should say something to somebody. So, who knows? Anyway, I gotta go. I've been on for what Maze said. Maze is right. Star Wars is timeless. Keep your current shit to yourself. You want to do relevant? Do a space opera with your relevant themes. All right? But keep that other crap to yourselves. Anyway, I gotta go, and I'll be back. Maybe later. I tried to do a video, but my phone storage is being a pain in the ass right now. Anyway, I'll see you around the galaxy. You all be good.